Hi everyone, I'm back again, but this time to introduce our Fireside conversation. So I was really excited the last time at the Oscars this year when Dune, one of my favorite IPs, books, movie, when it won the best Oscar for visual effects. And I was elated when I found out that the folks behind the visual effects, DNEG, Brahma AI, will be joining us here at the Fireside Chat. So I would love to introduce you Joe Plaete, who is the Chief AI and Innovation Officer of Brahma AI, the force behind the wonderful AI and the visual effects that we see on Hollywood movies like Dune and Inception. And also we have a moderator, Atul Phadnis, who is the former Chief Content Officer of Nielsen, and also now founder and CEO of Vitrina AI. Take it away, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. A very warm welcome to everyone. This is an exciting discussion. Also, not only because we are going to be discussing AI, and also one of the most exciting aspects of movie making, filmmaking, and content creation, which is visual effects. My name is Atul Phadnis, and I represent a company called Vitrina AI. One of the key aspects that Vitrina AI does is that we are essentially tracking the entertainment supply chain. And what that means is all of you have seen the credits roll past at the end of the movie, yes? And when the credits roll past, they go on for a long time. It goes on for about 7, 8, 10 minutes. And essentially what's happening there is every company and every individual that essentially helped create that particular piece of content is actually being credited. And that represents the supply chain. Those are the folks who are suppliers, vendors, creators, talent, companies, individuals, and experts who essentially contributed to that movie making. And Vitrina AI essentially tracks the entertainment supply chain across the world. And one of the things that is happening with that tracking is that the whole supply chain is changing very rapidly. It's changing very quickly. And the reason for that is not just what the earlier panel discussed, which was globalization and the fact that a lot of diaspora content, a lot of global content is coming in. But one of the key reasons why that supply chain is changing is because you've got a lot of new tech that's now coming to the fore. That tech is replacing the way movie making was being created in all kinds of different dimensions. The types of cameras that we are seeing, and a lot of digital cameras, the type of visual effects that we are seeing, and we'll hear more from Joe about all the great work and innovative work that they're doing relating to AI. Things like even with the advancements of gaming engines, the advancements of localization, dubbing, subtitling, all aspects of the supply chain are very rapidly changing, largely because of technology and because of all the advancements that we are seeing. Cut to the interesting aspect that we wanted to sort of talk about, which is special effects and how AI is being used in that dimension. So we now have a exciting sizzle reel to actually sort of go through. Let's actually go through that.
Brahma, the face of AI. Welcome to a new era, one built on a tradition of award-winning teams and a legacy of Oscar-recognized innovation. An era where the boundaries between human and AI blur, and where realism is not just visual, but deeply human. Brahma inherits and builds on the legacy of DNEG, Clear, Ziva, and Metaphysic. With Clear AI as Brahma's intelligence engine and data layer, built to power agentic apps in content localization and immersive media with deep multimodal AI and strong privacy. Our purpose is to amplify human potential through groundbreaking AI technology, products, and services that are built with ethical guardrails, secured with world-class data protection. Led by Prabhu Narasimhan, our CEO and steward of Brahma. Beyond photoreal likeness, Brahma has redefined with Astra's human realism, from face to voice
in Miami and Illinois
to environments. These are not just visual marvels. They are fully functional software products offered as standalone tools or bundled together as software as a service designed for enterprise clients, shaping the future of media, games, performances, education and experiences, and many more. Introducing Atman, our AI tool for creating high-fidelity digital humans, uncannily real, expressive with ethical controls. With Vani, Atman finds its voice, localized across languages.
Thank you, everyone.
Synchronized to emotion and alive with human nuance.
And thank you, AI.
And in Loka, they are established in their world, rich, immersive environments where Atman engage with one another and with the world around them as naturally as we do. Beyond deepfake and cheapfake avatars, this is a new generation of AI human realism. Brahma goes beyond an AI achievement. It is a human milestone. The use of technology to amplify human potential. Humanity as boundless and unchained as human thought.
I could spend the rest of my life here.
Brahma, the face of AI.
Wow, that was super inspiring. So, Interstellar, Inception, Dune, right? The company that's behind all the visual effects and all the amazing stuff that we've seen on screen, DNEG. And then Brahma is part of DNEG. Joe, it would be great to actually sort of give a background about all the AI work that Brahma is now doing inside of DNEG, and how do those two sort of go together?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. But Brahma AI, we're content AI creation company, and we're bringing together the technology that underpins the vast DNEG content creation and visual effects generation technology, and we're fusing that with advanced AI workflows. As per the video, like there is Clear AI, which is a proven, secure, robust content and management and data platform. I think Ramki, who built and runs this, is here. With these lights, I can't see anyone. But then there is also the fusion in of Metaphysic, which has been pioneering AI-driven digital, very high fidelity characters in motion pictures over the last 2 years. Like we've DH'd Tom Hanks, Robin Wright for Bob Zemeckis in the time traveling kind of Here movie. We've brought back the Bullet Farmer for Mad Max Furiosa. There was some work in Alien Romulus, but we also applied this technology in real time in live entertainment. We had an AI generated Slim Shady alter ego perform last year at the VMA Awards with Marshall Mathers. We've done the Slim Shady for his Houdini music video. We've brought back Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis for a collaboration for Dre and Snoop. So a big portfolio of really high-end, high-fidelity humans sitting together with DNEG, and there is also then Ziva, who's been pioneering the ML 3D character workflows, which lean themselves extremely well for games and immersive worlds, VR applications. So it's really all these tools have proven themselves at a very high quality bar, and it's the mission of Brahma is taking this and making this into more scalable workflows that go beyond just feature film and are also applicable to enterprise. There is retail, there is healthcare, there is education, there is a whole kind of range of applications there. Yeah.
Fascinating, and one of the aspects, as as all of us watch movies that DNEG has actually sort of been part of, we've seen the creation of fascinating new worlds, alien planets, right? One of the key aspects that is now different with the work that you are doing and pioneering is digital humans and the ability to actually sort of de-age or even sort of create completely digital human sort of characters. Talk a little bit about that aspect, and why is that so critical? Why is that such a big, massive leap from an AI perspective?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been doing digital humans for quite a while, and I'll sometimes make the joke that I have a real estate in the uncanny valley because we've been trying to do this for many years in the traditional way: 3D geometry, polygons, facial captures, very complicated, very expensive, very time-consuming, and ultimately you end up in a quality bar that is uncanny, because we as humans, we are actually the perfect deepfake detectors, if you like. We see each other faces every day. We read emotions. We read so much on a face. So we also see very, very quickly when a face is not right. So this is where the AI technology that we've been pioneering to kind of make very high fidelity, trustworthy, believable digital humans for film initially, but now also beyond that. It's by training these models, these neural networks with photorealistic data, you start from photorealism, and a very important component to that, which we had in metaphysics and is also in DNEC and Brahma ultimately now, is the ethical component to that as well. Like we believe strongly that every image of especially when you're talking about somebody's likeness and somebody's identity that goes into these networks is with consent and licensed and ethically sourced, and just like we did with these movies, like the talent was always in charge of the use of their AI models that are trained on top of our data, and we want to extend that. When we scale this product, and many more people are having their likeness and their data in our platforms, they get some sort of identity card, if you like, a digital passport. So even, I mean, we are a secure vault for their data and their models, but these can only be activated and authorized with their consent by the user, owned by the user, and activated by the user. So I think, further to your question, it's a trend. The AI technologies have enabled for high fidelity digital humans to be created in a much faster way, but also in a much more authentic and believable way. And the mission of Brahma is to extrapolate that to enterprise and to amplify humans in the digital realms.
That's fascinating. If all of you saw that sizzle reel, there was a particular set of clips relating to Tom Hanks, and Tom Hanks being shown across different ages in the same movie, right? What was fascinating when I was reading the case study, actually, Joe, and we discussed a little bit before the panel, was that particular shooting was where Tom Hanks was actually able to see his younger self 2 frames pretty much in real time. So he's shooting as himself, but he's seeing a younger self on the camera, and that was in real time. Now that aspect completely changes the equation from a cost perspective, from a time perspective, from a resource perspective, I'm sure, right? Talk a little bit about 2 things actually. One is, how has that decreased the budgets for some of these movies where it's now easier to make it and also cheaper to make it? But the other aspect also relating to the AI that's behind such a real-time engine that is able to render so quickly that the actors are able to make course corrections and able to take references right away in real time.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think if there is one transformational thing to the movie production side of it, it was the real-time component. Because in traditional visual effects, when you're going to do a digital human, you're always guessing on the set. There is somebody doing, especially with the aging, you have no idea what 6 months down the line the visual effects artist is going to be doing, and that's the time it takes, and then it takes another year to completion. From a budget point of view, if you compare here, the movie was a 60 million budget. It's a movie that Bob Zemeckis wanted to make for the last 10 or 15 years, and he had that conversation with Tom for a long time, but it just couldn't at that price point, because a period piece, you're not going to get like the Disney level 150 to up to 200. I think Benjamin Button, for example, it's kind of similar, right? Time travel cost 150 million. So that movie could not be made until this technology unlocked it to be made. And so to the real-time component, like being on set with real-time preview. So Bob Zemeckis was directing Tom Hanks and Robin Wright, and he had two screens. Left was this raw camera feed, right looped through our system and came back a couple of frames later with young Tom and young Robin, and that meant that he could direct the young characters, but also the actors after every take would come back to the Q take, and they would see their performance with their young face, which allowed them to in real time react to. Tom would be like, because he's at some point trying to play a 20-year-old, right? 20-year-old Tom Hanks. He would be, oh, my young face with my current day body, and this scene doesn't work. I need to open up my shoulders, or I'm frowning too much. In rehearsals, they had what we call the youth mirror, where they could literally have a TV and a camera pointing at them and test their AI young model and see how their current face reacts and really tune into that character. Meanwhile, the DOP is lighting the young character because he also has that preview, and hair and makeup are also working with the young character, because everyone in the film production, in the heart of the film production, gets to work with the digital character, which previously was just not a thing, and that accelerated it. Ultimately, for this movie, we ended up training higher quality models and did a post-production pass on that. But I think not so far away, you'll be in a situation where you shoot that movie and where the AI applies the visual effects in real time, and the movie's in the can when you step off set, which is a huge, incredible transformation as to where we were even 2-3 years ago. On the set, we were joking often, like 6 months ago we couldn't do this. Now we're here doing this. So the rate of change is exponential, and in the broader sense, this also points towards the democratization of these tools. Like now you go from 150 to 60 million, but that will come down exponentially faster. And on that trajectory is where with Brahma AI we want to create these tools and just unleash them to many more content creators, or create high fidelity digital humans that enterprises or businesses can implement in their services. Yeah.
Fascinating. One of the other things that I was really struck by was that, so at one level, it's bringing down the costs. It's democratizing the technology so that more filmmakers, even with low budgets, could actually use that tech. But the other application that I was quite struck by was when you had the Eminem character, right, Shady Slim, come alive in a live concert. Right? Talk to us a little bit about that, because now that this is not a movie setting, it's not movie making, it's actually a live stage event. Was that part of just some trial innovation, or was it a real deal? How did that come about?
Most stressful 4 minutes of my life, I would say. No, so basically it was at the VMA Awards last year in New York, and as we had been partnering and working with Marshall and Paul Rosenberg, they were contemplating if we could have Marshall perform with his alter ego Slim Shady, given that's what his kind of last album is all about. He's kind of killing off that alter ego somewhat, and so that leans on top of that same technology that we discussed, that we deployed on a film set. But you're right, it's a very different environment to be in a live production on a live set, and also that was streamed onto a live American broadcast. So a lot of technical challenges came up, and also to your earlier question, how do you get that into a real-time state? So we had to because ultimately you first have to. So we used a double that would be Slim Shady, that would kind of perform the action. So Marshall decided to put like 40 or 50 of the Houdini characters on the stage. So you have him, you have the double, and then you first have to recognize, so some facial recognition to find where that double face is amongst all these faces. That was something that kind of we had to reinvent our facial recognition system that we had been running on the film set, because maximum 5-6 people in the frame. There's suddenly 40-50 people in the frame. So you find that then that hands that over to another network that is trained to synthesize synthesize the Slim Shady face and map the action that comes into the system and generate that same expression or articulation of Slim Shady. And then the last part is that gets composited in real time back on top of the feed, and that gets sent out. Now, all these steps need to run in a millisecond budget if you want to provide it real time. So there was a lot of optimization being done throughout the pipeline, an already optimized process that is like, if you go back to rendering a 3D character, you're looking at 24 to 26 hours for one frame with subsurface scattering, hair, skin pores, all the detail. So the AI model, once trained correctly, and that's where the secret sauce is, like, how do you train a model to, because you have a lot of deepfakes out there, but this is like this is beyond deepfakes, going and training very specific models and architectures to achieve that realism, that performance, but also that likeness. Everyone knows Tom Hanks. If your network produces somebody that looks like his distant cousin, nobody's going to watch this movie, right? So it has to be spot on. So, but having all these once that network is trained, it can generate a face for Tom Hanks in around a second. Obviously, for the real-time system, we had to bring it to milliseconds. So networks are slightly smaller. They're more optimized. The pipeline is very optimized, and we run obviously on kind of heavy-duty GPU hardware. But it's been an interesting journey, and that real-timeness, if we now map that to the products, the digital human products that we're looking at with Brahma, allows us to create an avatar of you and me that can be in a Zoom call, and that we can interact with, because the speed of interaction is there. So it's putting a face on top of the intelligence that is the big play.
Fascinating. So one key question then that comes up is, as you look at the execution of this technology, it's clear that DNEG are where the experts are sitting from a VFX perspective, and then the technologists are sitting inside Brahma. Is that right?
That's correct.
Give us a little bit about the chemistry between those two organizations, and how does the magic come alive?
Yes, I mean, there is, in a company like DNEG, making such high-end visual effects, there is a hell of a lot of technology involved, and that's what actually all the way back when I started on my journey was what fascinated me a lot, because it's highly technical, but it's also highly artistic, and it's that excellence that is sometimes missing, or a lot of the time actually is missing. If you look at certain companies building very sophisticated models, and pouring a lot of research into that, but they don't necessarily have the know-how on how to create like an aesthetically beautiful looking image, which is something that you have to do, and you do like content creation on a DNEG level. At the same time, a lot of visual effects studios out there are not very much underpinned with very strong technology, and they know how to make an aesthetically pleasing image, but they don't have the technology. So this is, I think, where we come together as technology and creative excellence, and have the synergy and the overlap between these two, usually not like very synergetic skill sets, and bring them together. And if you're going to want to create a digital human that is believable and that another human is willing to interact and create with, you're going to have to that level. That's the problem we've been trying to solve in film for a very long time. How do we create a digital human that doesn't throw you out of the story, that is not like, there's something wrong, and suddenly you're not watching the movie anymore, you're worrying about that slightly eerie looking human. So having solved that at that level now allows us to extrapolate that to a much wider application base. Yeah.
Fascinating. And as you said, that actually the confluence of creativity and technology is exactly where this chemistry and magic has to happen. As someone who leads AI and innovation inside the company, I was curious about what's the roadmap look like, because on one side we talked about democratization, bringing the costs down so that a lot of smaller budget movies can also use just great storytelling and great creativity in this manner. But on the other side, we are also sort of really pushing technology to do more and newer things. You know, one of the things that you talked about was, wouldn't it be amazing if Tom Hanks de-aged and became younger, but also spoke Arabic and Hindi without you actually figuring out that there was a issue with the lip movement, right? I mean,
totally, yeah.
Just if you can talk a little bit about the places where you're pushing innovation and technologies to sort of work better.
No, for sure. I mean, localization is a massive component. Like this, so we have, as per the video, you have Atman, which is the product that encompasses the high fidelity digital human creation. But then we have Vani, which specifically looks at implementing that in media and indeed like allowing for voice, but also face localization to again a high quality bar. So a movie can be released in X amount of languages and massively increase its global reach. And we're currently working on that in the context of the movies that DNEC is producing. Ramayana is a great example that is targeted to release in a whole bunch of languages and bring that story to a worldwide global audience. Yeah.
And the Ramayana is going to be a big budget movie from that perspective. Again, it's a showcase for the company to actually have all kinds of technologies to really bring out the magic of that storytelling.
Yeah, I mean, it allows us to battle test these tools at that level, but at the same time, and we're very conscious about this, it's about also productizing this technology and being able to offer it as a service or as a platform for enterprises to tap into, because there is a whole catalog of content out there that to the previous discussion that had only had a very local audience, and there is so many gems out there that can be picked up and brought to the world and kind of just consumed by many more people. Yeah.
Fantastic. We could take one question from the audience, or maybe two. If there are any folks who are AI enthusiasts or VFX enthusiasts, this would be your moment.
I heard something about Ramayana. Can you expand what's going on that project?
So DNEC has announced a big project, Ramayana, and then that's the key showcase for the company also to sort of really bring out a host of the technologies that they're working on. It's supposed to be a big blockbuster. So Joe, I don't know how much can you share about what's going on?
Not too much, but there is a big booth at the moment at Waves, kind of releasing it to the world, and Namit is there talking about it. Yeah, it's a massive project, and I think being released, it's bringing that story to the world. I think it's his vision, and this is to the localization part of it. But the movie itself is like a Lord of the Rings scale entertainment, which I think will be fantastic. The faster the AI can work, the faster it's going to be released. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Atul, for moderating this panel. Also, telling the audience here about your secret sauce with Vitrina and using AI for the entertainment landscape. And Joe, fascinating facets about your work. I'm so jealous. But I know that I'll be looking forward to seeing a familiar face at the Emmys and the Oscars next time, and I'm sure our audience will also do so. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank you.